What is going on, everybody? You're at home nerd here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, for Marvel Monday, we are finally doing a Marvel tier list. Now, I've reacted and reviewed a lot of Marvel shows as of late here on the channel. You know, I have made some tier lists with my friends, but that was before I've seen all of these new MCU shows and all of these new MCU movies have came out. So today, I was live on stream, and I made the official 2022 Marvel tier list. So, before we get into the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure to interact with this video any way you can. It helps out the channel a ton. Thank you guys in advance. All right, now let's get straight into the tier list. Shall we get started? We're gonna start with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think the story for Ant-Man and the Wasp was okay. The villain was okay as well. I know the villain Ghost is actually coming up in some future stuff. I think for the Thunderbolts movie that Marvel is going to be doing. But I think Ant-Man and the Wasp for me is probably, right now, I'm going to give it a C. I don't think it's anything better than that. Next one, a very big one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Iron Man. Some would say the reason why we got the whole MCU, it all started with this. And I think just for that alone, puts it in an A tier. Probably first good comic book movies to come out. Actually, no, that's not true at all, because there was Spider-Man, and then there was Spider-Man. I think on its own for just starting the MCU kind of puts it at an A. I think A, but there's gonna be a lot of stuff at A. Thor, the first Thor movie, also okay. Would I say it's better than Ant-Man and the Wasp? That's a good question. I don't know. Ant-Man and the Wasp is like good because it's okay because it's funny. Like it kind of redeems himself in its like comedy route. But I feel like Thor as an origin story is okay, but is it better than Ant-Man and the Wasp? I'm going to say yes because it introduces a lot more characters into the MCU from what it already had. I'm gonna put it above Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm going to put it above Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, was it a better film than Iron Man 1? Yes or no is the question at hand. From what I remember, it's been a while since I've seen Iron Man 2. I think Iron Man 2, for me personally, was better than Iron Man, which kind of makes me want to put Iron Man at B now. We're going to go back to that one. Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming, a lot of people kind of give it some hate because just the Spider-Man trilogy in general, because Spider-Man doesn't really have any of his own villains. They're all like from either Tony Stark's past or, you know, from other universes. Personally, for me though, I think Spider-Man is better than Iron Man. Is that crazy? Have I just not seen Iron Man in a while? D'Angelo says I'm crazy. Okay, you know what? We're gonna put Spider-Man Homecoming above Iron Man right now, because I'm also just a Spider-Man guy. I mean, I have a fucking Spider-Man mask in my closet right now. I'm gonna keep that there. Captain America, the First Avenger. Captain America is actually one of my favorite heroes, so I'm a little bit biased here. And the more I rewatch the First Avenger, the more I like it for whatever reason, because it has good backstory. The connection between him and Peggy really gets to me every time. Red Skull can be a little bit better of a character, not gonna lie, but I would say I like First Avenger better than Iron Man. Man, I'm really gonna get hate once I post this online. I'm gonna put it above Spider-Man. We got 3 and A already. Been a long ass time since I've seen the Ed Norton Hulk, but I'm gonna give it a B. Feel like it's a good film. It's okay. We're gonna go back to Iron Man 2, boys. Iron Man 2, is it a better film than Hulk? I think I like it better than Hulk, man. I think I like it better than Hulk. I'm gonna put it at B. Not because you guys told me that I can't have it at A. It's because I thought about it. Although it has more characters, I think the story lacks a little bit more motive, and I like the origin story. So Iron Man 2 at B. First MCU show, WandaVision. And I'm not talking about these Netflix ones. WandaVision. I gotta say, WandaVision was pretty monumental for the MCU, especially when like everyone was at home during COVID. We weren't able to go out to the movies and they weren't able to film stuff. They brought out this show, WandaVision. Honestly, throws the whole MCU in a completely different direction, and I love that. I'm gonna give it an A, even above Captain America. I already feel like I need to do some reworking, although I'm starting to think that Thor should be D and that Hulk should be C. We've introduced all of the First Avengers, Marvel Avengers, the First Avengers movie. I've rewatched that one, dude. I rewatch it to this day. I will literally get chills every time they do the little rotating thing. You know, when they're I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up right now. Dude, imagine being 11 years old and seeing this shit, dude. And then he lets out a roar. I got chills again, Chad. Look at this. Look at this. And for that reason, chat, S tier. Iron Man 3. I think Iron Man 3 was the worst of all of them. So I'm going to put it at a low B. I do think it was better than Hulk. Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man. Why did I start with Ant-Man and the Wasp? I think that was a really good movie. I think it's better than Iron Man 2. I'm going to put it high B. Maybe even A. Because Paul Rudd kind of carries that movie, low-key. What about Doctor Strange? I liked Doctor Strange better than Ant-Man, just because I think the concept of it is so much cooler in my mind. So I'm going to put Doctor Strange at a... I feel like Doctor Strange deserves a nice A. Let's do Thor: The Dark World. I would say probably the worst of the Thor movies. Why did I have Thor in D? Does anyone remember that? Why did I put Thor in D? I feel like Thor: The Dark World deserves to be in D. I feel like the concept of all that, the dark elves and time portal things, like it got a little confusing. Anyways, let's go with a real freaking good one. And I'm going to go Guardians of the Galaxy, chat. Guardians of the Galaxy, S tier. Why, you may ask? Because Guardians of the Galaxy, for it being a completely obscure set of characters brought into the MCU universe, banger soundtrack, great story about family and like sticking together, I'm gonna keep it at S. Black Panther, huge film in the MCU, and I think is actually known as one of the tops. I'm going to put it at an A above Spider-Man, but below the first Avenger because I have personal connection to Captain America. So, you know what? Let's do one of these newer movies. Shang-Chi. I'm not going to lie. Some of these newer Phase 4 films I'm kind of lost on, but Shang-Chi does a really good job for me. 2/3 of Shang-Chi I think is pretty good. I like the first 2/3, but then it got into like this mystical aspect, which was okay, but it just kind of took me away from the actual story. So I'm gonna go B. A little bit below Ant-Man, but I would say they're about even for me. Let's go with a tough one, guys. Black Widow. What do we think? I like the character, and I actually like a lot of the fighting in it, but I think something that messed with me was like the CGI. I think this was one of the films that like kind of came out during COVID, so there was a lot of maybe I don't know, I'm not even gonna say, like, there might have been a lot of things going on and a lot of people ended up watching it at home versus the movie, so it's kind of hard to tell. I'm gonna say B film below Thor. We're probably about halfway done here, chat. Let's do another show. Let's do Moon Knight. Moon Knight I think is one of the more successful MCU shows out there, and I really enjoyed the concept. I think if it was given a little bit more money, it definitely could have looked, I think, a little bit more flawless in some areas. I think the story was cool. I think the character is cool. Having someone deal with like this mental disorder that he had, like with multiple personalities, I think is super sick. I'm gonna put it above Black Panther. I'm putting Moon Knight above Black Panther, and that's all I gotta say. Let's do the Hawkeye show. I liked Hawkeye. It introduced a new villain to the MCU, which is Kingpin. Hawkeye is a cool character. I think Haley Steinfeld killed it as his protege. I'm gonna put it at high B. No, because the story for Hawkeye I think was much cooler than Shang-Chi. So I'm gonna put it above Shang-Chi, but below Ant-Man at B. I've been holding off on this one because this one's a personal favorite of mine. Captain America, Winter Soldier. Captain America, Winter Soldier, I think by far the best storytelling, some of the best practical action scenes, and coolest characters in the MCU. I'm gonna put Winter Soldier at S, above Guardians of the Galaxy. Because honestly, if it's between watching Guardians of the Galaxy or Winter Soldier, I will watch Winter Soldier 5 times before I go and see Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, if it's Avengers, it's a little different. It's tough. That's my favorite film. So Captain America, Winter Soldier, S tier. Freaking fight me about it in the comments, all right? What If? What If was really cool because it was like an anthology series, multiverse, something they're really gonna hopefully dive into in Phase 5. I mean, there were some cool stories. I think the Doctor Strange story was cool. Zombie one was okay. I think it's a B. I think What If is a B. Guys, I know we've been hesitating. We've been kind of pushing it off, really. And that is Captain Marvel. A lot of people like to shit on Captain Marvel. Like, Captain Marvel, I think, has a really good and empowering story. For me personally, when it comes to watching other movies, unfortunately, Captain Marvel just doesn't do it for me. We just did a full reaction of this show. By the way, if you haven't watched, go check it out. Link down below. She-Hulk. A lot of people didn't like the show. I don't know why, because they clearly are going into it thinking it's a fucking, it's the new Iron Man, it's the new fucking Captain America, when in reality, you have to kind of go back to the basics of what this character is. This character is a comedic law character, all right? She breaks the fourth wall. She's aware of her surroundings. She embraces that she is a woman. I think She-Hulk, honestly, because it's so different, belongs above above Ant-Man. At B, Avengers Age of Ultron. I like this movie more than a lot of people. I enjoy it mostly because it introduces Vision and introduces Wanda. And I honestly think it's better than, I think it's a B movie. I think it's a B tier. I'm gonna put it above She-Hulk. Avengers Infinity War. Some would say the best MCU movie to date. I would agree. Avengers Infinity War, I mean, honestly, giving the villain the protagonist role is kind of nuts. I mean, if you look at it, Thanos has more screen time than any other character in the movie, which makes him the protagonist. His thought of him doing the right thing, of like slaughtering half of the universe so that people can grow and evolve a little bit quicker. I think that concept is really cool. And obviously getting all of the characters together in one movie, I mean, like, I gotta give it an S. Gotta give it an S. A huge movie. Probably the biggest MCU movie when it comes to like sales. And that is Avengers Endgame. They do time travel. You see their past selves. You got this huge, and I mean huge, epic war between Thanos and all of the Avengers and all that. Having said that, low S tier. But I think right now we're still at a pretty good tier list here. Thor Ragnarok. I gotta say, probably the best rebrand for a character, you know, making him a little bit more relatable and funny. The villain is a little bit kind of bland. All she wants is to conquer. But I think Thor Ragnarok is overall a better film than, I'd say better than Moon Knight. Loki, very complex storyline. And I think one of the coolest concepts. I think this goes above, I kind of want to put Loki at S, but I'm not. I'm going to put it above Civil War. I feel like for S, you have to be like a special kind of sauce. You know what I mean? Now we're getting into some crazy shit because a few of these movies are now considered canon in the MCU, in the same universe. The Spider-Man movies. But I mean, Spider-Man has been one of my favorite franchises, superheroes in all of superheroes. First, Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire, goated Spider-Man. I would say it's definitely above She-Hulk. Spider-Man 2, a absolute game changer of a movie, by the way. The CG, the action, the story. I think this goes above Captain America, the First Avenger. I think it's even with Ragnarok, maybe even a little bit more than Ragnarok, but I'm going to keep it here. The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. I loved the first one. A lot of people didn't. I don't know why, but I liked the first one. So I'm going to put it at, I think, above She-Hulk. And then honestly, I didn't like Spider-Man 2 that much. So I think I'm going to put that even lower than Spider-Man 3 and put it at like below Hulk even. I mean, why'd they make Electro blue? He's freaking yellow and green in the comics. Suit looks amazing though. Now here comes a big one, chat. Spider-Man No Way Home. I remember seeing this and being like, holy crap, dude. Although I think it brought back a lot of nostalgic things because they brought back some Spider-Man. I think overall the story of it, the story about Peter Parker, who loses his Aunt May. He's fighting the stuff about, you know, him just trying to be a normal kid, which is part of his character in the comics. I think Spider-Man No Way Home goes above. Bro, this is tough. I think it's definitely S for me. I think it goes above Avengers. That's kind of nuts to see up there. I like that. I like it though. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. There was a lot of theories about what was going to happen in this movie, and I think it was a little bit overhyped than what it actually was. Cool concept. I'm interested to see where Doctor Strange goes in the future, but I think it's a definite B tier. And then Thor Love and Thunder, the most recent. It was okay. They definitely went more the comedy route, and the story overall was a little bit confusing. And I actually think I'm going to even put it below Spider-Man 3 because of how confusing the story was towards the end. Let's see if I want to do any more revisions though, because that's pretty much it. What are we thinking, Chad? Do we not agree with anything here? I think Widow should definitely be above Eternals. Iron Man 1 is S tier. You know, we had a big conversation about that, and I think you're wrong. Miss Marvel, you're probably right. Should go C. Multiverse of Madness should not be B. It should be C, but above Spider-Man 3. Shang-Chi should be higher, near Ant-Man. I think honestly, Carnage belongs in D. Guys, I think we're kind of done here. Well, guys, this is the official 2022 MCU tier list. If you guys did enjoy the video and honestly have anything to say about this tier list, don't even bother commenting down below your take. I don't want to hear it. I'm just kidding. No, if you guys have different takes, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and concerns down in the comments. Let me know what you think is S tier and if Iron Man should be put above WandaVision and Loki. And as always, guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. We do reactions every week. Right now, we're reacting to Andor, and we're going to be doing future MCU shows as well. So subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.